siphon gas from the high school bus into the tank of my beat up bug, so I can drive away from the shouting misery.
Hello everyone. I really don't want to say this, but here we go. All right, so I have been neglecting YouTube and neglecting to tell my story because there are a lot of things that I'm very concerned about. Because a couple of days ago, my mom was watching one of my videos, and I always tell people throughout my videos I speak nothing but honest truth, and I even spill tea about myself as well, and that's the embarrassing part about that. Because I was on the phone with a couple of days ago and today, whatever, yesterday, whatever, and I was saying, like, someone was telling me how I'll be telling my own personal little secrets, and I'll be like, damn, I be just telling on myself. So basically, today's video we're gonna be talking about music, and then we're gonna talk about why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling, and also we're gonna talk about the incident where I took 5 pills of painkillers this past week, and how someone basically made me feel very this tiny, and not realizing that if I go back into the work world, I possibility might kill myself. And I hate to sound like that person, a Debbie Downer, but in reality, it's the truth. Because there was a point in time where I was literally thinking about killing myself, and I was on the verge of trying to kill myself. I took 5 pills of painkillers last year. I took 5 pills of painkillers a couple months ago. I took 5 pills of painkillers pretty recently, like 3 or 4 days ago. And I'm just really tired of, one, I'm tired of feeling like I'm useless to the world. The world kind of like spit me out. After I quit my job, I left because the workload was too much. I was under too much pressure. And the great thing about it was the only person that was putting pressure on thyself was me. I was making myself to be this phenomenal artist, and yeah, and hold on, I'm back. But I was trying to make myself into this popular artist, and I didn't have all the tools to make me into a popular artist. I didn't. And I was just, on top of it, the job was a lot. My manager basically took my hours. She literally asked me in front of my face and was like, I'm going to give so-and-so your hours because you're part-time and she's full-time. Like, who does that? So, it was just stuff like that was just making me really upset. And then my mom was just, not really being very supportive. Like, she was supportive of my music career, but she just really wasn't really, like, sure about it. And she wanted me to support her with her business and her production company and her podcast and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, but what about me? I'm out here trying to make a living for myself as well. I'm trying to leave your house. I'm trying to eventually go out into the world by myself so I can survive, by myself, learn what everyone else is doing in the world, you know what I mean? And it's really difficult when you don't have that, I don't want to say respect, but it's more so like you don't have that support that I truly wanted. And I just wanted people to understand, like, like I'm just a regular guy who just wants to be successful in life. Yeah, that's all I wanted. All I want is to be successful in my life, and that's really it. And and I have to be quite honest, like, like, I know that I'm going through my own metamorphosis of life, and I'm trying to understand how to comprehend this life, you know. In my past videos, the old Elijah was, was honest, but I was always half honest about my truth. I'm 27 years old. I am gonna be as honest and as open as possible. I'm gonna put out my business because I want to be able to help the world the best way I can. If I can't go into the studio and record an album and tell you guys how I was feeling this particular day, or that, that I'm gonna talk it out. As much as I can't always explain it to others because people don't really get it, I just don't, people just don't get it, and I have to realize that it's not their business if they don't get it or not. It's not my dad's business. It's not my uncle's business. It's not my aunt's business. It's not my sister's business. It's not my brother's business. It's not anyone's business who doesn't want to get it. It's not even my mother's business if she doesn't want to get it or not get it. My mom says she no. If you understood, then you will let me go back into the work world. But at the same time, it's like she likes to use things against me. Like the fact that I took 5 pills of painkillers. And I told my mom pretty recently that I was like, the only reason why I'm living is because just so I don't cause you guys any pain. That's deep. The only reason why I'm still alive and have not tried anything harsh, like down a bottle of pills, a whole bottle of pills, is just to keep my sister and my mother and anyone else who cares about me sane. I know that sounds kind of selfish, and I because it's like I'm only here just so I don't cause them any pain, and that's the worst feeling. Every day I wake up and I'm just like, I'm over it. I don't want to be alive. And then, of course, that I'm always talking about, thank God I'm alive. And, there's like a little part of me that's like, I'm going to try to enjoy today. I don't have friends. I don't have friends who are willing to come see me. The only person I guess you could say is a really good friend who talks to me, but she's going through her damn stuff right now. It's my friend Renee. My sister, I don't know. I can't. But at the same time, it's like, I'm gonna tell you right now, keep your head up, because I'm gonna keep my head up, and I'm gonna do what I gotta do just so I can live a decent life, and I'm gonna try to find that peace so I can enjoy life again. I used to love life. I really did. My early 20s, my teenage years. But even then, in my teenage years, I tried to commit suicide. Yeah. I did. Crazy, right? But even then, I was still unsure about my life, just like I'm a little still unsure about my life now. But only thing I can really do is just live the best life as I can, truly, And my goal is to tell anyone who is out there in the world who is struggling with depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, if you have faith in God, He can work miracles. And even if you don't believe in God, believe in the earth, the revolution. Believe that Mother Nature will make your day better. I believe in God. I'm I have a faith in God. So, that, I guess you could say that kind of keeps me from doing crazy things to myself, partially, So my goal is here for this video is to tell people that, it's okay to feel all these thoughts and have all these feelings, but at the same time, don't give up, Okay, enough of that. Now we're going to talk about the music and what it was like, truly what it was like recording 8 songs within 4 months and a year. Because technically, because I recorded 8 songs on my album, Forever Elijah. So, recording Forever Elijah, as I've said plenty of times in a couple of my videos, and I've told a couple of people, either on the phone or text or whatever, recording Forever Elijah was a really fun album to make. Granted, it was really fun. The fun side of it was going to the studio every day, being able to, listen to different beats, find different beats, play around with my vocals, do all these wonderful things. And that was the fun part about it, that was just all fun, that it really was. Whenever I would go to the studio, I would feel so at home and I would feel so comfortable. And all I had to do was just sit down, get behind that mic and just close my eyes and just let out this music of voice. Don't know where it came from. Don't know. From the Lord, obviously. And then I would leave the studio and I just wouldn't fit. And then I would leave the studio and I would get home and come to my reality the next day. I gotta be at work. Because one thing people gotta understand is that I'm not working right now. And my mom was like, she was like, you're too busy focusing on the fact that the fact that I can't record anymore is because I don't got money in my pocket. And somebody said something about the fact that, I should be looking for a job. And the fact that my younger brother Jamar constantly always asking me how's life. In reality, he doesn't really understand that life is hard for me. And I'm trying to make it look like, life is good and stuff like that, but it's not. I'm being honest. I'm not trying to be a depressing person. I'm not. I'm being as open and honest as possible. So for whoever is watching this video, I am not trying to be a Debbie Downer. I'm really not. I'm being as open and honest as possible. Life for me personally right now at 1:06 a.m. right now, while I got my damn air conditioner on and my fan on and my dog is laying down on his bed, life for me right now is really, really crappy. And I'm being as honest when I say that. Because I miss working in the studio. I miss recording. I could write all day, but what's the point of writing if I'm not going to be recording it? I like the pressure to write when I need to write to record. I like that pressure. And on top of it, it's like nobody wants to call me up and be like, I'll pay for a session. I'm not asking people to do that, but it'd be nice. But I wouldn't want them to do that. And I tell people all the time, like people ask me, they was like, this was coming out of my pocket. I isolated myself for almost a year, not visiting family, people didn't see me for almost a year because I was too busy focusing on a record. I felt like I should have recorded like 15 songs and then put the album out and then put the second album out and then put the second album together as well. But God has plans for a reason, and that's okay. That's okay. It is though. It's fine. I keep telling myself, and I partially believe it, that I will be back out there in the world doing music. I will, and I just want people to understand that by me not working, it's not because I don't want to work. I just can't work right now. And in all honesty, if I just wish people. Part of me I just wish people understood, especially friends, understood that me sitting home every day is just not cool. I mean, there were some good points about working. I would get up the house, but I wasn't getting enough rest. I wasn't. There was one time where I went to the studio and I was trying to record a Christmas song, and I was so overworked. I was so tired. I didn't realize it. I didn't realize my voice was affected. Because to be quite honest, because I recently recorded my album for during the summertime of last year, and I was hoarse, overworked then, but I guess you could say I was able to push through it. There were days where I would come in the studio exhausted, and I would just do what I had to do. But this particular day, my voice just wasn't having it. It was cold. I think, it was cold. It was close to Christmas time. And my voice was not having it. It was not having it. I was trying to sing and I just couldn't get it out. I could not get I was not able to push out my full potential of my vocals. And I was so I was not having it. I wasn't. Voice and all was just not having it. And so that was the last time I was in the studio. And then after that particular incident, I didn't go into the studio. Actually, that was the last time, yeah. And then before I knew it, I started having all these problems with the job. And the job they were taking my hours away. And I wasn't getting any sleep. And, my manager was a bitch. Oh my God, it was a mess. It was a bitch. Oh, her name was Manuela. Ugh, horrible person. Fake. Her and Rose, horrible people. Yep. Just horrible. And I just didn't like the job. It was too demanding. They wanted me to work, but they wanted to take my hours away. I just did not like it. Because the reason why I didn't like it was because I wanted to stay in one place. I wanted to stay in one place. They had me all over the place. They had me upstairs, downstairs. I was just all over the place, and I just wanted to stay in one spot. To be quite honest, I kind of wanted to be in the dish room, and that was it. But they kept hiring new people every couple of months, and then my hours would just change frequently all over the place. I was over it. I don't. But really, technically, what happened was, so here's the story about what exactly happened. So, pretty much the reason why I decided to put in my 2 weeks and basically how they kind of screwed me over. I had put in vacation time, back in November, And this vacation time, I was just taking it just to take it because I still had some hours, and I was like, what the hell, why not? I'm gonna take it and whatever. And I wanted to do like a whole week. I wanted to do like 7 days. Be off for 7 days. But a manager screwed me over. Basically, she had me off for 3 days. And that was payday, and then 2 of those days, what she was gonna do was she was gonna ask me to come in 2 of those days, and then I'd be off, and then be back to work, the following week or whatever. But then at the same time, three of those days were paid vacation, and the other 2, she was gonna try to call me in, and I was gonna decline for each of those 2 days of me not, I wasn't gonna come in. I was gonna not be like, no, I'm busy, So basically, what happened was this particular day, I was tired, and I didn't feel like working that day, and I should have had called out, and I wasn't really known for. I was known for other things, like I would sometimes be late, whatever. I was late maybe like 3 or 4 times or whatever, and stuff like that, and I was known for just being late, whatever. I wasn't known to call out. Because I don't know, I just feel like it's a little bit better to not call out. But I feel like, the next job that I do get, if I'm feeling something and I don't feel like working that particular day, even though I'm scheduled, I'm gonna just call out the day of, and then, they just have to figure it out, because that's what jobs do. You gotta figure shit out, And I went to work early in the morning. I had to be there at 6 in the morning, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to work and do my thing or whatever. And then that day, everything just seemed kind of. I was really excited for my vacation coming up, because it was just taking forever for my vacation to come up, and then. And then I was just tired, and I was just ready for my vacation. And I was ready just to be out of the that job. Didn't want to see the people anymore. And I was working with Maya. She's a sweetheart. Just a sweetheart, lovely woman, really sweet. And I was working with Maya that morning, and that whole day, well, half the day, and the grill cook, I guess you could say him and this other lady, they kind of like have this little thing where they always like argue and mess with each other or whatever. And she was off that day. I think she was off, and I was on. And basically, what happened was he was having a really crappy day, and I was already having a pretty crappy week. And not realizing that, I picked up on his, his energy or whatever, I just didn't realize. So I went to my station while I was fixing stuff up, and I guess this woman said something to him, and about his mask or something, has something on it, and usually this guy is, he has OCD or whatever, and he was pretty busy. He was pretty busy that he was on the grill cook. And he was just, he was busy, and, just busy, and he forgot to, change his mask or whatever. So anyway, I went over to check the food or whatever, and the lady was like right there in line. Like, she was like maybe like 3 or 4 feet away. She wasn't that far, but she was far enough. And he went over to mine. I was already over there. And I was being nosy, but I was also being concerned as well. At least I'm honest. At least that's how I was being nosy, And then, he told Maya what happened, and then I was like, what happened? And I didn't personally, normally I can be very loud. I have a very heavy voice, and my voice can carry a lot. And I didn't really think that the lady heard me. And I had a mask on too. So, some people are just weird, and they normally can't they necessarily can't always hear what I say through my mask or whatever. So I was like, what did the lady say? And then he was like, Andre was like, why you gotta be so loud for? And he was loud about it. So in that moment, I didn't really know what to do because I got embarrassed because, you know, he yelled at me. And I'm just like, I didn't know what to do. You know, personally, I really did not know what to do. In that moment, I didn't know what to do. So I literally was like, okay, I'm gonna just walk. I got in my feelings. I was upset. Because my feelings got. I was emotional. Walked away. Maya followed me, and I was over it. I was upset because I was just like, why is he yelling at me? All I asked him what happened, and he's pissed off at me. I'm like, I'm not the one to be mad at in the first place. So so I went to the time clock. I was gonna go home. I was gonna go home. And of course, by me saying that, because I was already distraught. I was upset, and I did not want to be there anymore. In that particular moment, I did not want to be there anymore. That was my final straw. So I asked Maya, I was like, and I was crying, I was hyperventilating, I was having an anxiety attack. I was a mess. I was a mess, I was crying, I got my clocked out, got my stuff, headed out the door, whatever. And I'm walking, I'm still crying, and then of course, Manny made it seem like, I walked off the job, but I was like, I walked off the job because I couldn't do the job because I was crying, I was having an anxiety attack, and I don't think you would probably want one of your workers to come back to work with tears in their eyes, hyperventilating, causing a scene. I feel like what I did was best for me personally, because I did not want people to see me in that type of light. I didn't want people to see me all upset, crying and emotional, having a moment, because I didn't want people to be concerned. I didn't want that. That's one of the reasons why I said. That's one of the reasons why I did what I did. I left and went home because I needed to get myself together, because I didn't want. Because if Manny would have saw that, she probably would have been like, just come here and sit in the office. No, I don't want to come here. I want to go home. I want to go home so I can get myself, so I can clear my head and think things through. Because I might quit now, because and so I was off that next day, and then I had to come in, and I had to work Friday. And Saturday I was off, and then Sunday started my paid vacation or whatever. So of course, I came in that day, and the Friday, and Manny was in the office with Gary, and I decided to drop the bomb or something, put him on 2 weeks, and that was basically how. And then my mom asked me for Manny's number, and Manny basically said, well, he left the job. Hello, phone had died. Sorry about that, guys. So as I was saying, I was in the office. With Manny and Gary, and I got tired. And I was like, I'm tired, and I'm gonna put in my 2 weeks. And I was unhappy, and it was just, I was just having a very, very difficult time with the job and the hours, and then it was. I think what got me was the fact of the matter that I had an incident with a coworker, and then I had an incident, the fact with my manager taking my hours and giving it to somebody else because I was part-time. that I did not have. I was not, that rubbed me the really wrong way. And then when I told somebody else, and somebody was like, she's not supposed to do that. And the person was like, it doesn't matter if you're part time or not. Those are your hours. You know? So, I quit. And like I said, the way Manny did it was, I had vacation time coming up. So that Friday, I put in my 2 weeks. That following day was Saturday, I was off, and then Sunday started my vacation. So basically, how it was Sunday, Monday, Tuesday vacation. Wednesday, which was regular, because like what I wanted to do was I wanted to have a vacation from Sunday until Saturday. So basically, I wanted to have I wanted to do Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's 7 paydays, and then come back Sunday, Sunday morning, whatever, Sunday. But how she did it was kind of, she purposely did that on purpose, because like I said, I don't know if I said it or not in the last part of the video, but basically what Manny's plan in her head was, because she technically was still low on staff, and I didn't care, but I was like, I need to take this time off for myself. I need a mental break from this place. But what she wanted to do was, just before I put in my 2 weeks or whatever, 3 of those days were going to be paydays. She wasn't going to bother me. That Wednesday, she was going to try to call me in unless someone called out or whatever. But what she did not know, what I was going to do was, I was going to say no and be like, I'm busy, doing stuff, because the original plan was, I was going to be on vacation. I was going to be in the studio working on my second record. That was the plan at that time. The plan was to, I was going to be in the studio, because I think I was going to get paid that Thursday or whatever. And I was just going to be home, just relaxing, resting or whatever. And then when Thursday came around, I was going to be in the studio. I was going to be in the studio 2 days in a row. I was willing to pay like $100, like $200, because an Uber ride was going to probably cost me like $14 to get there, then probably like $15 or $16 to get back home. Then I was going to have to pay the producer $50. It's a whole thing. So that whole week I was going to be in the studio cooking up, a new record or whatever. That was the plan at that time. Obviously, things changed. But since I put in my 2 weeks, I ended up going to New York, spending time with my sister, had a good time in New York or whatever. It was really great. Got an opportunity to see the Bronx, the dirty Bronx as they call it or whatever. And I got an opportunity to see my younger siblings, and that was pretty fun as well. And I got a chance to see my dad, and I got that was I think that was the same week I got insulted by my uncle, my dad's brother. Another video, another day. And then obviously I can't, and then I ended up but like they said, basically what it was that week I was off, and then I came back. I was gonna be going back to work that Tuesday or whatever. So I was gonna be working Tuesday, and then I think I was off Wednesday, and then I think I was working Wednesday and Thursday. And Thursday was my last day. And Thursday, yeah, I was in the cafeteria Thursday. And that was pretty much my time with Virtua. Yeah, pretty much. People ask me would I want to go back. I would. I would. Once I get myself situated, once I get my life back on track, I want to go back to where I miss making money. I miss being able to do whatever I want to do, and I miss it. I do. And I just want, you know, I was hoping that people would still keep listening to my record, you know, because that's would have made me more money. I wanted to tour with the record. I did. You know, I wanted to find places that I could sing at and perform my music at and stuff like that. You know, but everything's gonna come to fruition. I know it will. But yeah, that's my story for today, guys, and I will see you guys very soon. I promise you, I'm gonna be more consistent with these videos. I gotta stop being lazy. Really, it's just there are some days I should be on YouTube back to back, like for real. But it's just the editing part is so hard because it's like I got so many videos and I have to delete. That's the whole thing. But thank you for listening to my story, guys. I love you so much. I will be more consistent. I promise you guys. I love you guys. Check my Instagram out. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on TikTok. Subscribe to this video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Guys, listen to my album, Forever Elijah. That really, really will make me money. Please listen to my album. You can find my album, as I've been saying it for the multiple times, as I've said it throughout my videos. You can find my album on Amazon Prime, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube. Oh God, all the streaming platforms. Again, for the older folks who don't know how to use iTunes, get your grandchildren to help you find it. But again, for the people who actually knows what iTunes and Spotify is and Amazon Prime is and so on, look me up there. And I'm also on TikTok as well. Music, and I'm up there as well. So follow me on TikTok, follow me on Instagram, and subscribe to my YouTube channel and stream my album. It makes me money. All right. Love you guys. Peace and blessings. Be kind to one another, okay? Love you.